Almost built that one too.
I thought we had a question for you on your way out the door since you included, but is that bar open?
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah.
Someone I see somebody.
I'll get before I have to leave.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe you can't leave.
Or not a
Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking. It sounds like.
Hello out there, we're on the air. It's curling afternoon today. Coming to you live from the Coyotes Curling Club in beautiful, not downtown Tempe. This is live coverage of the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com.
I was all ready to do it, and this cash. You're not qualified to just take cash? Where am I going to put it?
Today's matchup features Team Groh from Coyotes, a home team, taking on Team Feldman from Wine Country Curling Club from the Sacramento area of Northern California. Skips are making their way down the ice. It looks like Andy McDonald is holding the broom for Team Groh. And she's in the house, so it does appear that Feldman has the hammer to start the game off. We have 4 sheets in play this draw, and we'll keep you updated about all the action that's happening on the adjacent sheets. And you can also keep track of the live scores on DoubleTakeout.com. Not DoubleTakeout.com. There's too many websites. Bondspieler.com is for live scores. Just remember Bondspieler.com and DoubleTakeout.com. That first shot for Team Groh ends up as a center guard, but not on the center line. That was from Michaela McLean.
Give me time, Cassie. I'll get there.
I made Derek go back up there.
The lead for Team Feldman is delivering the rock.
Should I go in a window and press the
Oh, you're watching on TV?
And this is going to go around the center guard, I think, unless it wrecks. It does chip off of that red guard. If the rock had been on the center line, it could have been a rule violation. We call it the no-tick rule. So for the first 5 rocks of an end, a center line guard cannot be dislodged by an opponent's stone. If it happens, it's a violation. The offending rock is removed and the original stone is reset. So we have a couple center rocks. The yellow seems to be outside the house from the overhead view. I think they were trying to draw around, but this is going to be coming into a corner guard. I almost said center guard when it's not. Looks like we have a bunch of fun facts to go into as the game progresses. So we see the second stone coming from Feldman's lead. Have another bustling crowd in the warm room for this draw. That does crash on the yellow, pushes the original yellow into the house, and the yellow shooter rolls to a center guard. So this rock on the center line could not be removed by red for one more stone. This is the 5th rock of the end coming down now. And this is Jennifer Collins throwing second stones for Team Groh. And mission accomplished to take out the yellow shot stone in the house. I think they're going to try and draw around. Team Feldman is. This weight looks pretty good. It looked a little fast to me, but this ice might be just a smidge slow for this club. Which is not to say it's slow, it's just, you know, the speed that they have to get used to. Looks like there's a lot of red guards in front of the house. As we see the stone coming from the namesake of Team Groh. This is Megan Groh. She's vicing this weekend. Going to hit, I think, the red onto the yellow, and the yellow goes out like a darn spot. As an out darn spot. I know Shakespeare said something slightly different, but I try not to swear on these broadcasts. As we see the stone coming now from Feldman's third, Leanne Shearing. And looks like teams are pretty comfortable trading hits back and forth in this first end. This could be a blank, or the guards do make it slightly tricky for the blank to unfold. Still in the cards, though, as Andy has the broom down for Megan's second shot. I think looking to draw around now because there's nothing else in the house. And there's guards. This looks to be a little wide and maybe a little heavy, as Feldman's going to jump onto it and escort it from the premises. There's a really good crowd here in the warm room for this draw. It's like they say, TGIFC, thank goodness it's Friday curling. Or thank goodness it's fried chicken, I don't know which. So now Leanne's going to take on the draw. This looks pretty close, but it might crash on the red guard. And it does. It chips it slightly, and the yellow shooter just rolls wide out of the house. And now we are at Stip Stones, and Andy McDonald wasted no time getting to the other side of the sheet, which is great timekeeping on her part. She's in the hack, ready to go. You can see there's running clocks in the background. Each team has 30 minutes of thinking time, and that is the time from when their turn starts to when they start delivering their stone. And so they have 30 minutes to try and play through 8 ends of regulation. If they run out of time, they run out of game. They lose, essentially. If the game does go to an extra end, there is additional time allotted. So this one crashes on the yellow guard, but it rolls into the top of the house. So it's possible Feldman could do like a gentle hit and roll a little bit, like enough energy to kick the red out of play, and then maybe roll to the side. From this head-on view, it's probably about half open. but they would need to hit it pretty close to center to accomplish the roll and move the redstone enough to get out of play. So Katie Feldman makes her way down the ice. Leanne has the broom down, and I think they are going to try and take that hit and roll takeout. Katie Feldman of the Sacramento area is underway. Looking for a hit and roll. This line looks pretty good if it hangs on. It does get the yellow. It does get the red out, but the shooter also rolls out of play and off the sheet. So that's pretty good. One thing to maybe keep an eye on is that when we're throwing towards the far wall, I think the rocks are kind of maybe they curl more towards the right from this view. And then when we're throwing the other way, they're going to maybe curl a little bit more to the left. And that's something to maybe watch out for as this event continues. That's through the port pretty nicely, and now they're trying to bury it, make sure it gets deep enough. So the blank is still there, possibly. I don't think they can really draw it easily for one. I mean, they could. When you look at the overhead view, you can see that the button is open, and so they just need to be kind of like a full slice of the button to get a single point. But why do that when you can blank and carry the hammer to the second end? And the hammer, again, is the advantage of going last. So, again, this is a situation where the rocks might be curling more to the right from this view. So we'll have to see how the stone goes down the sheet. So this is Feldman's last, the hammer in the first end. Just keep an eye on that line. Okay, you can kind of see it starting to break here. It needs to make sure it gets around the guard. It's going to be really close. It kisses it. Oh, and it spills the second red into the house. There's nothing that Team Feldman can do, so it's a steal of 2 for Team Groh. And Team Feldman is going to carry the hammer to the second end when we come back to the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Mixed Playdowns, coming to you live from Coyotes Curling Club. And this event is brought to you by DoubleTakeout.com. DoubleTakeout.com is a stat lover's haven. Each week during the competitive curling season, proprietor Ken Pomeroy compiles curling stats from all the top competitions and builds what he calls the world's best curling rankings. You can see how the best teams in the world stack up against each other and see their strengths and weaknesses based on hammer efficiency, steel efficiency, and more. It really is in-depth curling stats, all at DoubleTakeout.com. It's a pretty interesting start. It looked like a pretty open house until all of a sudden Team Groh had 2 reds in the house. So this is the lead rust coming from Michaela McLean. She started curling in 2023. It's her first year. She's a nurse, and she says her favorite chip and dip combo is chips and salsa. It's really hard to beat that. And it looks like she slipped into the house, so Feldman could either go after it or put up a guard. And I think they're going to maybe put up... I think they're going to try and draw around, actually. So this is Aline Barbary with her first, started curling after watching the 2018 Olympics and discovering that there were curling opportunities in Roseville, which is northeast of Sacramento. She's curled in both team and doubles leagues. And this is going to be a little heavy. And go through the house out of play. So taking a trip around the rings, which is a totally unique phrase I made up. It was not used by Sportsnet ever before this point. We're going to go around the rings here. You can check out live scores at bondspieler.com. Sheet A features a contest between Team Walsh from San Francisco playing with the Red Rocks, taking on Team Aubrey of Coyotes. There's no score posted, but they're just finishing their first end, so that's why there's no score. Sheet B is Team Juilliard from Coyotes taking on Team Blasky from San Francisco Bay Area. Also just finished their first end as the skips make their way down the ice. Sheet C is our feature game, as you may well know. You're watching it. And Sheet D is the only men's game on the ice right now. This is a contest between Team Cameron of Wine Country taking on Team Hernandez of Orange County. And again, all those scores are posted at bondspieler.com. Just think of Bon Iver minus the Iver plus Spieler, bondspieler.com. And looks like Feldman made contact and got one of the Reds out of the house, and now yellow is shot stone for second. Jennifer Collins is stone. Jennifer started curling in 2022. She likes plants, pit bulls, and the show Parks and Rec. Her favorite color is teal, and her chip and dip combo is tortilla chips and spicy salsa. Let's see if she has any pepper to this shot here, which isn't really in spicy salsa, but I'm trying to do a metaphor analogy. It does hit the yellow out of play. The shooter rolls wide to the left.
One of the scenarios, if
So Melissa McGuire is pushing out of the hat. She started curling in 2018. She loves her dog Apollo and doing house projects and then second guessing and regretting her decision as she should have just paid someone to do it. Looking to draw around this, the weight looks pretty good. The line is also pretty close, but just maybe a smidge wide. And so also by ignoring that red in the house, Andy has the chance to hit the yellow out and be sitting 2. So I think the pendulum is swinging towards Team Groh. Like time through the hourglass. I don't know what I'm saying. Looking for a hit, and maybe a little roll undercover. This looks pretty close. That's a nose hit. Yeah, Andy was sweeping to try and like coax it over to the right a little bit, and didn't happen.
Okay.
And so now Melissa's going to try do a hit and roll of her own. Ooh, and this is wide. It misses. And so the pendulum that's already started swinging is swinging ever more. I think curling needs beat poetry to kind of help the commentary. I think Vic Rowder would be really good at beat poetry. But this is a big opportunity shaping up for Team Groh. As Maiden throws her first. She notes that her curling resume is not nearly as cool as Andy's. But the shot might be, as it's drawing towards the house. Looks to be a little. Ooh, it goes around the shot stone and goes to the back 4. That was ice cold, man.
I assume they're information about other people.
So now Team Feldman is chasing. As Leanne gets set in the hack. She's a Canadian who never curled in Canada. She started in the sport in 2019, has been hooked ever since. And doesn't want a hook shot here, wants to make contact. It's going to, I think, make contact with one, get rid of one red shooter, or one red counter, pardon me, and then the shooter is going to roll out of play. So very quickly, Megan is delivering her second here. Which is a good strategy. Like you don't need to debate every shot, and the time clock I think discourages lengthy debates. So if you know what the shot's going to be, just go get set in the hack, and then double check the shot to see if it's what you want, and then go ahead. So you can, I think, save a lot of time by doing what Team Groh is doing. So Feldman's going to try and take that double on again. It's now more of a double than before.
Well, like other people have
this seems to be over curling. Going to hit the top red guard, and it does open things up a bit. So that is a good outcome for Team Feldman. And I think Groh has the broom down for her skip. I think just to look to put up a guard. This is Andy's first. Andy McDonald has quite the curling resume, including competing the under-21 nationals, the under-18 nationals, and the 2022 mixed doubles nationals. She skipped the winning team of the 2021 one-country Crush Bonspiel. Was also the 2016 and 18 Wisconsin State Championships, and finished 4th at the 2023 mixed nationals. And does put in a 4th stone, all in a row. 3 are in a row. And it looks like Feldman is going to take on the draw. That was kind of one of the advantages of clearing that red guard with Leanne's last. So Katie Feldman started in the sport in 2014 and has twice won bronze at Arena Nationals. She loves doubles curling, being the 2019 MoPac champ. Also loves Taylor Swift, going to Bonspiels, walking her new puppy Sheldon, and people named Brian, which is great because her husband and son are both named Brian. She does not like wintry climates, even though Leanne drags her to them. Let's see if the sweepers are going to be needed to drag this stone, and they might be. They're trying to drag it to the left, make sure it gets around those reds in front of the house, and they're going to park it just in front of that red shot stone in the back 4. Not a freeze. It looks like there is about a can of Spam between the 2 stones in the back of the house. Lengthwise can of Spam. All of my length metaphors are referred to like cans of meat. I don't know if I needed to change it up a bit or not. Well, no, I had a Twinkie reference last time, so we're good. So I think McDonald would just be happy to, park right on top of that yellow, but it is over curling. She's calling for more sweeping. Starting to, I think, set right in front of the reds in front of the house. It does. And so now there's a gap. If Feldman basically does the same shot she just threw, she has a solid shot for 2. But there is a lot of red in the house, that's for sure. There's 5 red rocks. If there was any more red rocks, you'd be in Denver at the amphitheater. Feldman, Mr. Wade on the eyes, looking for a draw here. The weight was really well managed last time, as well as the line sweepers were just needed to help finish it, and hopefully they'll be able to do the same thing here with Katie Feldman's last. Sweepers are on it a lot sooner than they were for Feldman's first. It looks pretty close. They need to basically touch the button, and it is there for 2. Great pair of draws from skip Katie Feldman to draw even with Team Groh. Groh has a hammer when we return to the 2024 Men's and Women's Club Playdowns presented by doubletakeout.com. Looking around the rings as we're about to start the third end on our feature sheet. Sheet A, Team Aubrey stole the first end with a deuce to take a 2-0 lead over Walsh. Blasky stole the first end with a point to take a 1-0 lead over Team Juilliard on Sheet B. Sheet C is our feature sheet again. Trading deuces back and forth. We're all square at 2. Groh has the hammer as we go into the third. And Sheet D, the men's game between Team Cameron of Wine Country and Hernandez of Orange County. Hernandez stole the first end with a single. It is currently 1-0 Hernandez. And all those scores are being posted on bondspieler.com. It's not Spieler. It's bondspieler.com. The H is silent because it doesn't exist. And I was making that joke because some people call it a spiel, and technically it's just a spiel, no sh sound, So we're all square here at 2 as rocks are in play. We have another pair of games to conclude our Friday coverage. Then we have a quadruple header Saturday and a pair of games, the women's playoffs on Sunday. And that's all going to be broadcast on the MoPac YouTube channel. Coverage tonight continues at 4:30 p.m. with a contest between Team Burnt of Orange County and Team Peterson of, I want to say Coyotes. Someone's shaking his head, yes, or nodding his head, awesome. At 8 o'clock, we're going to have wild card coverage. I say wild card in terms of not quite sure which game we're going to broadcast. Because there could be a men's tiebreaker at that time. But again, the times to remember are Mountain Time, 4:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. tonight. And Feldman draws to the back 8 area. The format for the women's tournament is round robin. There are 7 teams in the field, and so each team plays 6 games to face each of their foes in the field. That also means that there are always 3 games of the women's draw, and 1 female team has a bye. And so that also allows some of the men's games to take place. The men's field is a pool play. I think there are 4 teams of 4, or 4 pools of 4 teams, sorry. And so that means each men's team plays 3 games to determine their playoff positioning or are eliminated, depending on how it goes. And so the Sheet D game is going to be the last game of pool play for teams Cameron and Hernandez. And then the next draw is going to be the conclusion of the men's pool play. And we'll definitely keep you updated about that scenario. BondsRelay.com also usually includes standings if you want to check that out. So this next Feldman stone is coming down the sheet. Sorry, this is a Groh stone.
Don't talk to the timer. Get associated.
And just we're kind of building up a conga line on the button there. And at some point, they're going to make him go dancing. Just like my parents in high school. No. Let's see what Team Feldman has in store here. I think they were going to try and draw to the other side, maybe create another angle. This is going to be a little short, though. It's a guard. This could be what they wanted. I don't think so, though. It is Team Groh sitting shot stone right on top of the Feldman yellow. As Jennifer Collins makes her delivery. And so I think they're drawing around the guard that Feldman just put up. Ooh, and it just skirts past it. And it actually taps their red in the house and rolls to the back 4 foot. And so now there's a bit of an opportunity for Team Feldman as Leanne is in the hat. I thought they could maybe throw some weight at the red that was just put there. But it looks like they're drawing and maybe sitting on top. And I think that does kind of help their angles. Oh, but look at it curl. Crashes onto the center guard that yellow had in the last shot and rolls wide to the right. So basically just kind of closes off that path. So here's Megan's is first. This is hanging out. Let's see how it finishes. It's a little up weight and it's a little wide, and so Katie Feldman should be able to just doesn't even put a broom on it. It just lets it go. So now Feldman's going to try that draw. It's kind of like a contest to see who can get to the button on this right side of the sheet.
Yes. Yeah. Marked it on my ego card. Did I say two?
So this looks pretty similar to Maiden's Stone. It's wide and a smidge heavy, but it might stick around. It does not. I wonder if Feldman... I don't think Feldman would have been served by moving her guard, because it just opens up the yellow in the house to be removed by McDonald's stones. This is Maiden's last here in the third. Puts another one in. It could give an angle of attack for Feldman as she gets ready for her first of two skip stones. Curious about what they are considering. So they could be looking to do a setup shot for Feldman's last. And it seems to be what they're going for. They're looking to maybe put up a rock in the top 12 foot. So it could be used to, I think, make a play later in Feldman's second shot. So Feldman gets set. I think looking for a draw to be in the top of the house. And just also kind of looking around the rings. There's not really a good draw on the left side from this view into the house. So I think that's kind of why they're trying to set something up on the right. So this match is also a battle between an arena ice team, a team that plays on hockey ice essentially, and one that plays here on the dedicated ice of Coyotes. This looks pretty good, trying to get to curl over a little bit more. It does hit on the inside of that red and rolls towards the center. I think that's pretty close to what was called. So it looks like Team Groh wants to just close the door as Andy McDonald makes her way down the sheet for her final rock delivery. Oh no, her first. She has the hammer this end.
It's an easy shot, but I had to go all the way back down to get set up, and ever since then.
So looking to just kind of close the door, put up a guard on the top right-hand side of the house when we switch views. See, this is going to be pretty close. Does curl around that yellow guard. And now, this is a situation where Feldman is second shot. McDonald has first, third, and fourth shots. And so I think they need to be kind of careful that they don't want to, get rid of that second stone, or else Team Groh could be sitting very pretty. Also, just seeing how do they get to shot stone, and so it looks like I think they're just going to draw. If that red guard wasn't high into the left, they could try and kind of smack the red onto the yellow onto red and be shot. But I don't think that shot's not really there, just based on that guard. So this is Katie Feldman's last here in the third without hammer. Looking to maybe draw to the top 12. This is really, it was tight to the guard, but it made it past. Oh, goodness, let me switch views. It does kind of kiss the red onto the yellow, but not enough force, which is my big reason why I thought the shot wasn't there. And Groh is calling for a throwing the stone away, actually. Just going to throw the rock away. Team Groh is just going to take one. Pretty sure. Yeah, well, let's see here. They're taking a real close look at it, but they're kicking the stones now. So I'm pretty sure it's just a single for Team Groh. We'll update the score when we come back to the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Club Playdowns live from Coyotes Curling Club. And we're back with our live coverage of our feature sheet game, a fairly intriguing contest between Team Groh of Coyotes and Team Feldman from One Country. Looks like Team Groh's attempt to draw around it did hit the center guard, but it did not dislodge it from the center line, and thus it is not a no-tick rule violation. As I believe this looks to be Eileen delivering her second stone. Some other fun facts about Eileen is that she's participated in the Wine Country Curling Club's Crush Bonspiel every year, a few MoPac 500ers, and travels to as many Bonspiels as she can. And is successful in hitting that red out of play. That yellow does appear to possibly be a nibbler, kind of like a child trying to eat a cake without tipping off their parents that they're trying to eat the cake. Which is always fun to do when you're a kid. It's like they won't be able to tell I'm eating this cake. It's like, yeah, we can tell you're eating this cake. Or at least that's my personal experience. This net stone from Team Groh drawing around the center guard, and this is much more successful than the previous attempt, settling in the back forefoot. It does give a path and a target for Team Feldman to take on for Melissa McGuire's first. She works out all the time and always makes fun of Katie's obsession with TikTok and Taylor Swift. She's also competed twice at Arena Nationals. And this draw looks pretty good. It might be coming up a little light. And it does settle in and in that pack. Or it over curled, then I would assume. Yes. Next draw coming from Jennifer Collins. And I think they're just going to draw and put another one in. This weight looks good to end up in the top of the house. And it is going to be, right on the tee line. So now Feldman wants McGuire to start cleaning up some of these guards. So got some peel weights coming down the sheets. This looks to be pretty close for a peel. And it does it does push two of the yellows to the left, but also crashes on the guard on the right and promotes the Feldman stone into the top 8 foot. So it's still Groh sitting 2 and Feldman sitting 3-4. And this is Megan's first, I believe. As you can tell by her color, her hair color, her favorite color is purple. Her favorite chip and dip combo is hell of a good French onion dip and Wise potato chips. A fun fact is that she met her husband Kent at curling, and he proposed to her at the club. So when they say try to get the shot into the rings, that might be what they mean. So it's getting kind of messy for Leanne Shearing's first. She's represented the wine country at a number of bonspiels, including the USWCA, that's the Women's Curling Association Nationals in 21 and 22. Looking to go through the port perhaps, but it wrecks on the guard. Ooh, but a good outcome regardless. Some pinball action pushes one of the yellows, the yellow that was in the top 8 foot, to the right edge of the button and is sitting shot barely, barely outcounting the Groh red that's on the left side. You can see the yellow there, and then if Andy steps, yep, you can see the red there. So I think they're just looking for Megan to do a draw. And this rock, a little up weight, this is going to be heavy. It's going to go through the house, out of play. That, I think, was the shot that was called. I think they maybe wanted a weight, the takeout weight that was enough to move the yellow back, and then kind of also block the button more, and it was just an unfortunate miss. So this is the fourth end. We are playing up to 8 ends of regulation. And so that means after this end, we're going to take a 5-minute break. And then continue with the second half of the game. I don't know if that's what they wanted. Because now the yellow shot stone is open for Andy McDonald to take on. And I'm pretty sure Andy can make a shot like this. You can see from this head-on view that yellow is pretty open. There's a possibility that it could jam on the red in the back, but I think it's just going to maybe spill off of the red in the back and then roll, back and away from the center of the house. So this is a door opening for Team Groh and Skip McDonald. She's asking for just a little bit more ice. And satisfied, she's now pushing out of the hatch. This is the side where the rock might overcurl, so this is going to be important that they hold the line.
Get it, Bob. Get it, Bob.
It's super, super close. And is it there? No, it's on the guard. It does push one of the reds to the right side of the sheet out of the house. It does open things up, and so this is a tricky situation for Feldman. They're sitting shot right now. It's a tie game, 2-2 in the basically near the end of the first half of the game. Do you go with prevent defense, or you be a little bit more aggressive? I would think about maybe drawing on top of the red, and that way they can't. It'd be next to impossible to get rid of both of the yellows. I think that might be what they're trying to do, but we'll have to see. They could also put up a guard. That could be the prevent defense, which I'm an excellent footballer. I know all about the game. Here's Katie Feldman's last. Curling is my game. This weight looks to be pretty close. You need to be careful, though, not to create a possible double. And this is going to stay up high. I think it's going to also over curl. And it does. So now Team Groh has a chance for 3, I believe. So that's kind of the downside of trying to do the prevent defense, because you're almost giving the game away. Not entirely, you're giving the end away, to use more precise language. Because if McDonald makes that yellow go away, it's going to be a count of 3 for Team Groh. Megan's got the broom down for her skip. McDonald's in the hat, pushing out with a key shot here at the end of the fourth. And she also was kind of down a similar path, so they definitely don't want it to over curl like it did last time. And this looks really good. Pretty close to on the money. There goes the yellow with a no shot, and count them up. That is a 3-spot for Team Groh. This is one more rock. There's more rocks. I lost count. But now the situation's really turned on its head for Feldman. Oh man, I'm always pretty confident I can count to 8, but sometimes I just decide to skip it and then put a number here and there. But really, the turns have tabled for Team Feldman. I think looking to maybe just kind of draw in. There's not a lot of good places to go, unfortunately. The shot stone is actually kind of partially buried under the yellow from this view. Could hit the red that Leanne has the broom next to and kind of roll. Hopefully, I think that you maybe want the shooter to kind of stay at near where it hits as Feldman makes her way down the ice. And I think they could be just trying to get rid of a couple reds to cut down on the damage in this situation. Feldman's asking for a little bit more ice. It does seem to curl a little bit more this direction. Her shot's underway, throwing a bit of weight. I think looking to move a couple of these reds out of the way. Gets one, gets two. Oh, the second red jams on the yellow.
2 red. Wow. Okay. I'll take that.
So it is 2 red. Feldman had the hammer. So Groh steals 2. What am I doing? My scoreboard was a little off. I apologize. And we're now at halftime. We're going to take a 5-minute break. And we're going to be back to our live coverage from the 2024 MoPac Men's and Women's Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com. We'll be right back.
Really fast.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the warm room where we're going to do a quick trip around the rings to see how the other games are going in progress. As we go through sheet by sheet. On sheet A, we have a contest between Team Walsh of San Francisco Bay Area taking on Team Aubrey of Coyotes. Aubrey's throwing the yellow rocks. They are in their halftime break. Someone's holding the score up there. It is mostly Aubrey. It's 5-1 Aubrey over Walsh for now. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Sheet B is about to finish her end. Hopefully I'm not in too many people's way this year. So let's stay with this and see how this end goes. Let's take a look at the overhead. And look at the overhead. You can see there's a pretty messy house, but 2 is sitting yellow, 3 yellow, pardon me. But there's a lot of red in the rings as well. This is a contest between Team Lasky of Coyotes taking on Team Juilliard. And this is Lasky seems to be in control of this end. The score is currently 4-3 Juilliard, but it definitely looks like Lasky's about to respond here. Also, Lasky has the hammer as well, so let's stay with it.
And then I said you gotta throw your center. Throw it wherever you can. Yep.
So I think looking to draw, there's a port just on the right side of the center line here. It's pretty close. It's a bit heavy though, unfortunately. It's going to crash on the yellow, push one of the yellows out of the immediate scoring threat, and the red rolls to the wings. And so now it's Blasky sitting 2, and Blasky has to draw for 3. So let's try to change angles so we can kind of get a better view here. So the broom's down. I'm just going to kind of lean on the couch, whisper into the people's ears as
Appreciate it.
careless whispers of curling. It's my new album coming out this fall. It's for Christmas.
I'd buy that.
There's people in the way, so this is not the best view, unfortunately. But Blasky's about to make her shots here. I believe this is the hammer coming down. There we go. We got a line, sort of. I'm going to move back to the other position. Looking to draw here. Needs to sit down, get through the port and sit down. It's really good now. It needs to sit. And it's going to roll just a little too far.
You get a nice little escape.
And that's 2.
Nice little escape.
But that is going to be enough for Blasky to retake the lead. Heading into the break is going to be Blasky 5, I believe. Yeah, all right. We'll get the score in a moment. And then heading back to the other sheets as we continue around the rings. On our feature sheet, it's just getting underway. The contest between Team Groh of Coyotes and Team Feldman of Wine Country. Rocks are in play. And finally, the men's action for this game. They're in their halftime break. Got 2 minutes to go. Pardon me. The contest between Team Hernandez and Team Stephanie, or Team, goodness gracious, I got the team name wrong. It's Team Cameron and Hernandez, apologies. And it's a very tight affair. It's 1-1. Hernandez has a hammer, and they blanked the last 2 ends, so thank you very much. So it's a pretty solid contest, and definitely going to keep an eye on them as we continue this competition. And it looks like the men are getting back onto the ice for their last game, or their last half of the game. And we're going to return to our feature game in just a moment as I slowly make my way back to the production suites.
Might as well time both.
All right. It's probably a little bit more shaky cam than you guys may have wanted, but thank you for indulging me. And the game is solidly continued on our feature sheets. Sorry, the volume got reset. Hopefully it's better now. So lots of rocks in play in this fifth end. As we return our focus to our feature game between Team Groh of Coyotes and Team Feldman of Wine Country. Next rock coming from Team Feldman, Team Groh. I think looking to, they could be looking to raise one of their reds or draw around. This is looking to be a raise. Looking to maybe tap the red back. And it does. And it does clock that path on the right side. So now Feldman's going to look at attacking from the left side with Melissa McGuire's next rock.
You guys be careful with those cookies. Good ingredients, good bourbon.
They're talking about cookies in the warm room. Andy McDonald is helping to organize a curling team at Arizona State University, and cookies are a fundraiser. And I did have one of the cookies. They are really, really delicious.
We've got bourbon, round sugar chocolate chip bourbon cookies. We also have brownies, gluten-free cookies, and snickerdoodles, all available to help raise money for ASU curling.
And there's information posted on the Coyotes Facebook page, right?
I think so.
Okay.
There's signs all over the place.
Yeah, so if you're in the club, there's signs, and I guess you can reach out to us if you wanted to, learn more about.
QR code will be on the Coyotes Facebook page by the end of the day.
All right, terrific. So there will be more information on the Coyotes Facebook page, and it does help the college team. They're trying to get travel costs covered from Nebraska. So we got to talk about cookies. And for Team Feldman, this is a tough cookie to crack here in the fifth. Can you crack? I guess you can crack cookies. And there are some cookies that are like crack. Now this is going to be a draw. Looks pretty nice. It's going to get around the guards and settle into the back of the house. It's currently shot. It is possible to get to it, and that's what Andy's asking Megan to do. Looking for a draw. This is a bit wide, and this is something to keep an eye out. Is that some of these shots that have been to the wings have been a little too wide and a little too heavy, and thus haven't stuck around. So let's see what Leanne Shearing can do along a similar path. So this weight looks to be lighter. Let's see how it ends up. There it's starting to really dig in curling wise. And if it taps the yellow back, that wouldn't be bad. But as it is, it's going to freeze a little bit. So that's a really good shot. It's going to be really difficult for Andy McDonald to get rid of both of those. As she takes a look at, at the scenario. Looking to draw on top of the two Feldman yellow stones as Andy makes her way down the ice. Andy, her favorite color is purple, just like her vice. Her favorite chip and dip combo is chips and salsa or pita and hummus. I don't know if it's fair she gets two choices, but she did. And then she also notes that, as a fun fact, that she lived on a farm in California as a kid. So looking for it to try to wrap around the guard and sit right on top of those two Feldman yellows. This looks to be pretty close. It's going to be a little wide though. It's going to hit and roll a little to the wing. It's something that McDonald could use for a subsequent shot. And I imagine Feldman's just going to try and block that off with her first. It seems like it's really hard to get a rock to go any further undercover than they've been doing. And so I think really the best shot is to block that path and take the two that they have and tie the game again. And Feldman has the hammer. Sometimes my scoreboard doesn't update correctly. And sometimes I don't update the scoreboard correctly. It's either operator error or it's my error. So I think Feldman's looking to basically draw, block the path, and prevent McDonald from having a chance to knock some rocks around in the center of the house. And this does look pretty good. It's overcurling a little bit, but it's going to just crash on the guard and roll wide. And that has effectively closed off that path. And so now McDonald and Team Groh are looking at raising the red on the right. McDonald exchanged some hand slaps, like not quite a high five, but just a little hand slap, just to kind of to her front end. I think perhaps just reinforcing confidence in this shot. Looking for a raise, an angle raise towards the button with Andy McDonald's last. She's calling for the sweep. Needs to curl. I think they wanted to push over. Now it's looking pretty good. And it's going to curl. Oh, goodness. It was so close. The angle was there. Just a little too much weight. Yeah. Needs to curl. I think they wanted to push over. Now it's looking pretty good. And it's going to curl. Oh, goodness. It was so close. The angle was there. Just a little. So just a beautiful shot. We've been seeing some beautiful shot making throughout this weekend, and hopefully we'll continue to see so as we continue through the coverage through Sunday afternoon.
I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. I mean, you can come hang out if you want. Yeah, I mean,
And so it looks like Team Feldman wants to draw.
so like if someone just says, hey, Derek, I need something.
All Feldman really needs to do is draw to the 4 foot, the full 4 foot to get a third point. And so she's got 2 in hand and is searching that bush for a third to mingle metaphors. Looking to draw.
Don't start setting up for one.
And just a random speaker or microphone reset. Has some gremlins in my system today. This looks pretty good. Needs to make sure it gets around the reds and is full 4 foot. Needs to get there. Is it going to finish? And it's going to be just a little short. So a pretty good opportunity there for Katie Feldman and just a little short. But it's good enough for 2 to again tie the game once more. Groh will have the hammer in the pivotal even ends when we come back to our coverage of the 2024 MoPac men's and women's club playdowns live from Coyotes Curling Club. Oh, there's a technical timeout in play here.
Where's Don?
They might be doing a measure on the second stone. So my apologies, I jumped the gun. So it's, I'm going to reset the scoreboard. So I'm fairly certain Feldman got 1. Oh goodness, where am I? My scores are off. Grossel 1 in the 4th, or 2. So they got 1 with hammer in the 3rd and stole 2 in the 4th. I'm just having a time with this game. I apologize. The score is currently 5-2. Feldman has 1 and has a chance to add another depending on how this measure ends up as the head ice official makes his way down the ice. And so now we're going to see the most exciting measuring tool in all of sports, the pressure gauge. It's always accompanied by the Queen song Under Pressure with David Bowie. So yeah, it looked yellow to me, but they wanted to be sure, and they're going to do a measure. And it doesn't hurt to do a measure, really. From the overhead, it does look a lot closer. So the measuring's underway. Yellow first. They were really double checking to make sure that yellow is measured properly. So I think they've got it now, maybe. Or this is I haven't seen that in a long time. So yellow is now measured and they're sliding to the red. And I think it just kisses the red, so it is yellow. So now Now I can update the score to be correct. It is 5-4 Groh. After 5, we're heading into the 6th. Groh still has a hammer in the pivotal even ends. And we will be back in just a moment. Rocks in play. We are underway here in the 6th end of our feature game between Team Groh of Coyotes and Team Feldman of Wine Country. We just saw an interesting end that ended in a measurement in favor of Team Feldman to get 2 more points on the board. Feldman opens up this end by putting up a center-ish guard. That's not on the line. This one looks to be on the line. And so it looks like they're going to try and draw around now with Eileen's first.
One tie. I mean, you go down one.
Like it's really hard going back on this way.
Yeah. You throw it from the other half.
And this does draw around. Is it going to sit down? And it will in the back 8.
I don't like entry data. I like.
And just a reminder that our event coverage is presented by doubletakeout.com. Doubletakeout.com features the world's best curling rankings, definitely in terms of its analysis of curling performance. It's a great resource. That's doubletakeout.com. And Team Groh drew around as well and sat on top of the Feldman yellow. So it looks like both teams are going to probably trade draws back and forth until the 5-rock rule ends. I think after this shot. So in addition to not being able to remove stones off the center line until after the 5th rock to the end, rocks that are not in the house, above the house, can't be removed from play until after the 5th rock to the end. They can be bumped around, they can be bumped into the house, but they can't be bumped out of play. So this draw around was looked really solid. It ended up just a smidge deeper than, a smidge closer to the center than Team Groh's, and so it's now Feldman sitting 1-3 and Groh sitting second shot. As we see Jennifer deliver hers. I believe her first. This is going to be takeout appealed to 2 guards, and the shooter rolled into the house. So it definitely opened things up, and Pretty close to a double takeout.
Big tiebreaker right now. You guys have a good.
As we see Melissa McGuire deliver her next stone. I think looking to put up a guard. If it comes into the house and taps the yellow a little further to the center, that's not too bad. Don't want to be super heavy. So this is going to be a tap. And it does tap it back just about a foot. It looks to be one pole spread heel bossa link separating the two stones. And the next stone coming from Jennifer. And I think they're just looking to move some stones around just based on the weight that was thrown. Gets rid of one yellow, pushes the other yellow right onto the button, and the shooter itself will roll out of play.
We know that weight is one of the options, but depending on who wins the fight, weight could be anywhere in the fight.
So this is Leanne's first. And looking to, I think, put the yellow back into the top 8, full 12 foot. They don't want it to overcurl, and I think it did. So now McDonald could just ask her revised Team Groh to chip the yellow out if she wanted to. Looking at the team clocks, Team Groh has just over 16 and a half minutes to finish their game, to play 2.5 ends, which is pretty solid. Team Feldman has 10 minutes to play 2.5 ends, which is a little tight. Definitely not a crisis situation yet. So this is going to hit one of the yellows out of the play. So the rock that Leanne put up was useful. It served its purpose. And here's the net stone coming from Leanne. And this is possibly going to be tight again. Could be trying to put in the second stone in storing position. It does need to sit down, but that might wick off the red and roll towards the center, covering the shot stone. So that was a good outcome. There's a double possibility. There's a chance that it would jam, but I think that's something that McDonald wants to take on. Calling for takeout weight. Looking to move 2. Andy's calling for sweepers. Wants a lot more. What's she going to get? 1. Got 2 out of the house. And that double takeout was presented by doubletakeout.com. And that really, again, that was a great shot there by Team Groh. And so Feldman is sitting second shots behind the shot stone. So this is a dangerous situation for Feldman. And I think Feldman wants to basically kind of draw in and put a yellow on top of the shot red right now. That was a great double takeout by Megan. Looking for a draw, looking to sit on top of the red, I believe.
Right? She's going to be the side.
Needs to make sure. I mean, the line's the most important thing. If it's even if it's a little short, that's not too bad. But it is over curling, and it is going to leave that red pretty exposed. And so you can kind of see it from this head-on view. If McDonald wants to take it on, it looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to hit the red onto yellow and then be sitting a decent amount. The last Feldman stone did cut down the number of Groh counters. It is now Groh sitting shot rock, but Feldman has 2 and 3, and then there's also 3 other Groh red rocks to contend with. Really calling for a sweep. Coach in the warm room saying no. It gets rid of the yellow second stone. The shooter sticks around to be shot as the initial red shot stone moved to the back 8 foot. So it's still Groh sitting just the 1. Feldman has the second stone, and then there are now 4 Groh stones to contend with in the outer portion of the rings. And so if Groh and Andy McDonald were able to get rid of the yellow rock, they could be scoring a fistful, which is metric for mittenful. So I think they're going to try that draw again, maybe a little bit more ice, and they want to park it right on top of the shot stone. And again, another crucial shot coming from Katie Feldman. This is her last here in the 6th. This looks, the line's better than the last shot. Now it needs to come over and finish, and there it goes. It's going to finish right on top. It covers the shot stone, but now there's a double. And so this is a situation where McDonald, if she were able to double those yellows successfully, would be scoring 5 easily, maybe 6, depending on where the shooter ends up. So this is a TSN turning point. So they're looking at wanting to hit the inside of the top. Well, now they're looking at which way to hit it. And again, just this is a very crucial decision and a very key shot. We sometimes talk about point swing, normally in favor of one team or the other, but this is really a point swing that either the team gets 1 or they get 5 or more. This is a key moment. This is also probably why they banked so much time. They could spend 6 minutes talking about this shot. They're not going to, but they do have the shot in mind. Andy made sure we down the ice. So looks like they're doing gentle weights, perhaps, or they're doing weights on the yellow that's closer to the center. Again, McDonald exchanges hand claps with her teammates. I'll do that on camera one of these days.
That's if you hit it fast. If you thin it, you get both, and you get.
So I think what they want to do is they want to hit the yellow that's to the left side of the sheets, and then roll back up to the other one. So this is a very crucial shot. Here we go. Sweepers are now trying to push it over. They're going to get 1, and it kisses one of the reds on the way out, but that's That's all that happens. But it does swing from 1 to what appears to be 3 Grow red rocks. They are kicking stones, and so they have agreed on the score. But still a big end for Team Groh and Skip Andy McDonald. We will definitely see the outcome when we come back. Sorry, they're trying to confirm 3. Yes. It's nice to be sitting next to the coach when they communicate a little bit. It was a 3 spot for Groh. So Feldman has a hammer when we come back to the 7th end from the 2024 Men's and Women's Club Playdowns presented by DoubleTakeout.com.
The yellow would have hit shot and went that way, and yellow would have went that way.
As this 7th end gets underway, let's take a quick look around the rings, checking the scores as posted to bonspieler.com. Some interesting results as we go around the rings. On sheet A, we have Walsh from San Francisco fighting against Team Aubrey from Coyotes. But Aubrey's has had the foot on the gas for this entire game. It is 6-1, Aubrey over Walsh. The battle between Team Blasty from San Francisco and Juilliard continues on sheet B. After Blasty scored 2 in 4, Juilliard was forced to a single in the 5th end. It is currently tied 5-all in the 6th end. Sheet C is our feature sheet, and we do have a good game going between Team Groh and Blasty. I'm sorry, Feldman. I have 8-4. Bonspieler hasn't updated yet, so. And then sheet 5, the really close game between Team Cameron and Hernandez had Cameron finally break a stalemate with a steal of 3 in N5. And so now Cameron has a 4-2 lead in the only men's game in this draw. So, again, all those scores are being posted to bonspieler.com. So Groh has a guard and one in the house. It looks like Feldman wants to draw around the guards and come into the house, but this is going to be a little light. It's going to crash on the guard and roll it towards the center line. And so, if I remember correctly, the no-tick rule applies to rots that end initially on the center line. So that rock was pushed onto the center line, but that does not benefit from the center line rule, if I remember correctly. But that is an interesting situation. That stone coming from Michaela, I believe. No, this is Jennifer. Jennifer Stone. This is to be wide. And it is going to sit down, though. It's not heavy. It's going to sit down in the house, in the inviting 8-foot ring.
I mean, according to the bartender today, we look exactly. Was that when he carded me?
So Melissa is coming out, and I think again trying to draw around. Feldman is down 4, and so I think it's definitely looking for 2 at least, maybe 3. This is coming up light. And so now McDonald wants her teammate to basically just draw in and maybe tap one of the Reds back a bit. As they come down the ice, this does look to be a little bit wide for what that was called. It looks like they're going to maybe make contact with the outer red, which is a good outcome. Could be what they called, because it does push the red under cover of the red that was closer to the center line. And so now Feldman's looking to, I think, clean up house. I think that Feldman needs to score here and steal the last end to have a shot. They really can't. The blanking this end doesn't help too much. It I think just increases the odds of converting and scoring multiple points in the last end. So this is Melissa's last. I think looking to hit and roll, but this is going to probably, it hits on the outside and rolls wide out of play. So Megan is in the hack, Team Groh. Device for Team Groh. And I think just looking to draw, put up a guard, or just block the path to those Reds in the house. And if it kind of protects the red counters and cuts off other draw paths, so much the better. So it does cut off a draw path. And so now Feldman's looking at a long raise. Hitting the yellow and pushing it back about 12 feet? At least 8 feet. And so here is Leanne Shearings' first. She loves curling, skating, and enticing her California teammates to play in wintry climates. It does crash on the guard and pushes it across the sheets, but not towards the house. And so now the path to the house on the left side is wide open, and Team Groh is going for it. Looking to draw. This has a chance of over curling.
Perfect. Nice.
And that makes sense. I thought they would be coming into the house, but they didn't need to. So Leanne's going to try to draw around again, but the port is a lot narrower than it was last time. And also it's going to need a little bit more weight, but not so much weight that goes through the house. So it's going to be through the port, it appears. Yes, it's past the guard, and it now needs to sit down in the house. And it will in the back 12. Although Megan did her best to coax the stone to say, hey, you don't want to be here. You want to go away. So just a reminder, our quadruple header of games continues tonight at 4:30 p.m. as we bring the coverage of the final men's pool game. Team Burnt taking on Team Peterson. That's coming up at 4:30 p.m. Mountain Time, and at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, we're going to feature kind of wild card coverage to see what game we're going to choose. We're not going to draw it out of a hat, but there's several enticing opportunities to pick from. I'm definitely looking at the game that's on our sheet right now, sheet C. It's a contest between Aubrey and Blasky, two of the top teams in the women's field, but we also have a potential men's tiebreaker, so we'll see what happens there. This stone from McDonald crashes on the guard and opens up a port that's a little closer to the center there. And that is what Feldman is going to try and go towards. This is kind of a desperation time for Feldman. The scoring area right now is just the width of the button. And so I don't know how Feldman's going to get 2 rocks there to score 2. But there's no plausible way for Feldman to clear out those reds to score more than 2 or 3 points. I think the single is definitely there. Not quite sure about the double, 2 points.
Way outside the room.
Feldman Stone is underway. Warm Room thinks it's a bit wide. And it does appear to be hanging out there. It's going to probably get through. It might get through the port. Actually, it might hit the red. Okay, well, yep, it took the yellow and rolled undercover. So the shot was not made, but it could have been worse. And so now I think what McDonald is going to do is just kind of close the door there and just close that draw path. As you can see, Megan just put the broom down right in the center of that port. And right now, Groh is sitting 2, and closing this door opens the opportunity to a steal in this end. So this is McDonald's last here in the 7th without hammer, looking to close the door on this end and perhaps the game on Team Feldman. So it looks like it might freeze on top of the yellow guard.
Close it off even more.
And that door is pretty closed. And so now I think Feldman is just looking to not give up more than 1 point here. Leanne's got the broom down. Shearing has the broom down to draw around and I think maybe touch the 4-foot, but I don't think they'll be able to get to the button. And so it's really just a shot to try and avoid giving up 2. And then maybe just run out of rock. Maybe keep trying to score until they run out of rocks in this 8th end coming up next. So it needs to get back to full 4-foot, full 8-foot. Pardon me. They're trying to push it over. Is it going to sit down in time? Is it going to end up in a good place? And it does end up full 8-foot. And so that was a good draw to only give up a steal of 1.
Yeah, I need more than that.
So, and they're shaking hands. That is all that Team Feldman was going to take for this game. So Team Groh takes a 9-4 victory here. So that was a hard-fought game. It was really close until Team Groh really broke it open in the second half of the game. So good game all around. We're going to go around the rings in just a moment, but just to recap the coverage for tonight. Starting at 4:30, we're going to have our last men's pool game between Team Burnt of Orange County taking on Team Peterson of Coyotes. And then at 8 tonight, we're going to either feature, I believe, Team Aubrey and Team Blasky, a women's game, or the men's tiebreaker, depending on how the men's pool ends. So again, that's going to be 4:30 Mountain or 8 Mountain tonight. And that is on the MoPac YouTube channel or other fine television stations. Check your local listings. So now we're going to go around the rings in just a second. And I'll make sure I switch to the around the rings camera. Looks like Aubrey also finished their game, so let's check out what's going on around the rings. So looking in on sheet B, we have the contest between Team Blasky of San Francisco. They're playing the Yellow Rocks, facing Team Juilliard with the Reds. Looks like they're starting the 8th end here. We might stick with this game. We might return to this game as it's the last game on the ice. Right now, it looks like Blasky converted the hammer with 2 in the 7th to take a 7-6 lead. And so now, Julia's looking to get 2 points for the win, and Blasky's looking to, not give up a point. And looking over at sheet D, looks like they're about to start the 8th end over on sheet D. As you can see, they're about to push out of the hack. The contest between Team Cameron with the Red Rocks facing Team Hernandez of Orange County with the Yellows. Let's see if they posted the score on that game. We're going to zoom in, do a little digital zoom. Looks like Hernandez got a single in the 7th there, and it is currently Cameron leading 4-3, and Cameron has the hammer coming home. As Roger underway, that looked really light as we kind of track the stone as it goes down the ice. Sweepers are on it. It does get over the hog line. It's going to settle. That was good weight. It just looked slow from here. All right, so let's see how the game between Blasky and Juilliard is going to conclude. So it looks like Blasky has 2 yellows biting the 12-foot. And looks like they're going to go through the port here, looking to draw around perhaps? Yes, looking to draw around the centers. But I think it might be on the guard. It's maybe going to do some tap-tap action. We got tap-tap. A little action. So. So we see the next shot coming from Team Juilliard. I think they're trying to draw around themselves. The way it looks a little up, they also could be looking to raise the red that's on the wing there. Okay, so it's going to miss the wing, the red on the wings, and it's going to draw in, and now it needs to sit down. And it will sit down on the button. That was a great draw there. All right, so looking at the next Blasky Stone coming down the way as I did the rosters. This, I think, is the last rock for Kate Garfinkel. And I think they're looking again for some tap-tap action as they're looking to make contact on the yellows in the top of the house, and they will. And it's going to push, oh goodness, okay, so it does push the yellow into the further into the house, but then pushes it through to the back 12. And it does create a bit of a log jam in the top of the house. This is, I believe, the last rock for Juilliard's second. And I'm going to poke my head to see who is throwing second. It's Evans. So that would be Aaron Evans, I believe, who threw that. They are calling a timeout. Blasky is looking it over as Juilliard is now sitting 2 reds, and Blasky is sitting 3rd and 4th shot. But again, Juilliard needs 2 to win. 1 to tie, 2 to win. Blasky can give up 1 and force an extra end. And I guess I'm committed to covering the extra end now that I'm covering this game. That's a good point. We haven't had an extra end. Oh man, yeah, just some split camera action going. So as our competitive chair Ken Pomeroy noted, we haven't had an extra end. That's been kind of unusual. We've seen other events where there's usually at least 1 extra end a day almost, right? So, but it happens. So this situation here, they're looking at their options. They could try and blow up the front of the house, which conventional wisdom is that you can rarely go wrong by clearing a guard. So by clearing up the front of the house, they would have better access to the 2 Juilliard stones in the house. Also, Blasky doesn't have the hammer this end, so they need to make sure that they're sitting shot rock. Even if they don't score, they want to be shot stone, so then Juilliard has to make a play on it. So they either want to be sitting shot or have an entirely blank house. I think those are the options. I don't think they're going to have a blank house. So they're looking to blow up the front of the house there with the 3 or 4 rocks clustering in the front. This is the vice for Team Blasky, subs, as she is ready to deliver her stone. And the shot's underway. Sorry. So got some weight. What's it gonna do? Okay, so it does remove the red that was at the top of the house and moves the rocks around. So now there's some better paths to attack. You know, yellow and Blasky can run those yellows back towards the center of the house with their last stones. So looking at sheet D, it's a pretty open house. It's a 1-point game, and Cameron has the hammer and a 1-point lead, so it's really favoring the wine country team. Red put up a guard on sheet B here, Team Juilliards, to protect the 2 counters they have in the house. And so now Blasky wants to clear out those yellow guards in front of the house again. Maybe run one back onto the red. Do you think the run back is there?
There. Yeah, there.
There's a possible run back. I mean, at the very least, yeah. At the very least, open things up. But if they're able to run the yellow back onto the red, that would be the S tier shot call. This looks to be a little wide, perhaps. Now they're holding the line. Oh, beauty! The run back was made. That was a great call by Claire Blasky and a great shot made by her by Subs. That's her nickname. So now it appears to be Blasky, but I can also see Juilliard. Yeah, they are very close to each other as Juilliard's team makes its way down the ice. Looking at the time, they did call a timeout. But Juilliard has over 9 minutes. Juilliard has 9 minutes left on the clock. They could have waited. They could have talked about it for 8 minutes and then called their timeout.
That was a great run back. Really hard to call.
Let's while they're talking about it, let's look at the overhead because we can. The miracle of modern technology. So it's super close. I think it has to come down to our measure. So sorry for the shaky cam as we get back in position here. So Cameron is just running, yeah. No, Cameron has the hammer. So here's Juilliard Stone. It looks like it's going to be maybe. They might be confident that it's red. They're looking at it. If they go to an extra, they're going to be shooting away, so it's going to be kind of hard to call the action. That's what they did in Japan. Yeah, for the Kurosawa, they had one sheet empty in the middle, so they allowed like fans to access it and stuff. And so like Devin Hero from CBC was there and shooting some like I imagine a cell phone video of like Caitlin Law's team and stuff. So. Which is cool, but also be kind of distracting. I know when I shoot photos for our club, like sometimes people say, "Hey, would you mind moving out of my way?" and stuff. So, do you think Blasky could take out that red, or like push the red back, or they're looking to maybe draw? They could also draw in. That might be what they're looking at.
It's half open. They can definitely hit it out.
On sheet D, Hernandez needed to draw and be in the house, and it was a short, so.
Hernandez is going to have a shot.
Yeah.
They might be going like that.
Like even a hit and roll, they could do that. So Blasky, I believe they're just trying to draw on top of the red as she delivers her last stone here without the hammer in the 8th end. Now they're looks like it's close. It's around. Oh, it's there. It's going to tap the red back, and it's now Blasky sitting 2. Wow. And so how does Juilliard get they can't get 2, so the best they can really hope for is 1 and force the extra end. And even then, it's not a sure thing. The yellow that's in the top of the button, or the top of the forefoot, is not going to be movable, really. So, yeah, but how do you, yeah. So they're looking at maybe if they throw a lot of weight, and you need to do it. Oh, Blasky has one more. Yeah. Oh, goodness. So on sheet B, just really quickly, we're going to see the handshakes there as Cameron secured the win. Adding 2 to the board there. They got a 6-3 win.
Oh, so the tiebreaker is
So that was a solid game by Cameron. It was back and forth battle. It could have gone either way, really. And then looks like Cameron was able to bust it open with a 4 spot in the 5th end, or 3 spot in the 5th end. I think to win the game 6-3. So looking to throw a lot of weight here. This is Lindsay Juilliard. Are they trying the in off or just slashing? Round of applause. Oh goodness. Not bad though. Although it does make it hard for, yeah.
right in between the red and the 2.
Just as a recap, the scoreboard is not correct because it is not that game. I apologize for that. It is a contest. Yes. So, coming back to our bonus coverage game, and also the NFL postgame show coming up next, 60 minutes, except for 60 minutes on the West Coast. So. I think just looking at block the path is the call here. Looking for a guard or something high in the house to close the door. Even if it wicks off of one of these stones, as long as it doesn't roll too wide.
That's the miss.
So it was a little maybe on the heavy side that it rolled into a great place, and now Blasky is sitting 3. And trying to see where Juilliard can get rid of 3 yellow counters to score 1 or 2.
I like better on the other end.
So they're going to need to throw a pistol at this to get 4 yellow rocks moving. But how's there there's no port? Someone was suggesting a draw, and from here it's really hard to see it. There's a port. This is the last shot coming from Team Juilliard. Trying to find the slimmest of ports, so they're saying it's over curling. And indeed it is going to crash on the red there, and that is the ball game. Team Blasty holds on for the win by stealing 3 in the 8th. And a very solid outcome from Team Blasty. So that was some great bonus coverage. Just as a reminder, we're going to be back on the air later today at 4:30 for the last men's pool play game. Before we sign off, just another reminder that coverage of the 2024 men's and women's club playdowns is presented by DoubleTakeout.com. DoubleTakeout.com is a stat lover's haven where proprietor Ken Pomeroy takes the results from each week of major competition, crunches the numbers, and compiles what he calls the world's best curler, the best ranking system for curlers. And if you visit the site, there's a lot of information to be had. There's a lot of ways to look at the data and compare teams, see how they fare, see how the top American teams are doing. You can click on the American flag to see how the U.S. teams are doing. It's all there at DoubleTakeout.com. And so for now, as we wrap things out for this draw, this has been your host, Ryan. And so for all of us here at MoPac, Coyotes Curling Club, DoubleTakeout.com, so long, and we'll see you at 4:30. Thank you.